Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Tapoco Lodge. The Lodge is now open on weekends, folks, and the grand reopening for the entire year comes March 15th. Go to tapoco.com to learn more about this fantastic resort and also to book your dates. From a simple getaway to a corporate retreat or a family or church reunion, they have the facilities for all of it, and they have a great location. Find out for yourself. Check out tapoco.com today, hopefully at about 12:05. Not before. All right. I looked up margin of victory. This is another one I thought would be interesting because a lot of people look at Tennessee and say, well, it just went in by 10 or 12 points. Here's the thing. Tennessee ranks in the top 5 in terms of victory margin in the country. So they are a blowout kind of team. Last night, it went the wrong way. This was before last night. They were number 4 in the country. This is the AP top 10. And then on the right is where these teams rank in terms of blowout margin, margin of victory, average margin of victory. Tennessee, Duke, Gonzaga, Virginia were the top 4. All of them were top 4 in terms of that victory margin. You see that Gonzaga is number 1 in the country, but Tennessee beat them. You see Kentucky was 18. Tennessee got blown out by them. Tennessee may not be number 4 today, but they probably wouldn't drop more than number 5 even after last night. You're talking about 25 games at this point. All right, so there are your numbers. But I went ahead and checked scoring margin for the last 20 Final Four teams. All right, so there you go. Not surprisingly, those teams that whoop up on their foes tend to make deep runs in the tournament. In fact, only 5 teams outside of the top 20 in that stat have made the Final Four. Or, I'm sorry, outside the number 30, outside of a top 30 ranking. So you've got UConn, that blue doesn't show up. UConn, Kentucky, Michigan State, Oklahoma, Syracuse, and South Carolina. Everyone else is top 30. And you see there are a lot of teams in the top 5 there. Over the past, let's see, that's 6 teams. Let's see, top 10 teams, you got Villanova, North Carolina, Villanova again, Duke, Gonzaga, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Florida, Kentucky, up there in that range where Tennessee is. So that suggests that you got a pretty good chance of making a deep run. The best teams have the biggest victory margins, and you're one of those teams, and they usually make a good run. You buy that one or stats for losers? Do you factor in strength of schedule or not?
Boy, you need to go find you a nerd and get him to take both of those and put them together. No, I mean a real nerd. The defense and the offense.
Well, that's just it. They're 2 to 1's positive.
The one that I would have almost throw out is Gonzaga. They've won 35 conference games in a row. Their conference isn't very good. But the others typically play in pretty good conferences, so I think there's some relevancy to those.
What I found was the strength of schedule, and I went back and looked. I didn't get through all of them, but the strength of schedule was all over the map for these teams. Even the ones that made it far, that had the really big blowout average, didn't have a great strength of schedule, still had a good run. So it's not necessarily all strength of schedule based. But I think we're all looking at this saying the defensive number stands out more than this number.
Yes. I'd agree.
And plus the blowout average tells me those are the teams I want to bet on.
Good deal. All right. Appreciate it. Trying to give you a little positive there. All right. Later on, what's our number 1 concern for this Tennessee team as we head down the stretch run? 6 conference games to go. But next, a rivalry comes to life with Missouri. And did Philip Fulmer just give Jeremy Pruitt a year 0? Come on back and we'll talk year 0.